What's up, collectors? Godzilla back again, and today we're gonna be taking a look at another special Godzilla figure that came in over the weekend. Just haven't got a chance to get the review up, but here we are. We're finally here, and I'm super excited for this one. This is Godzilla Ultima from the anime series Godzilla Singular Point. Now, I purposely did not finish watching this. Well, I wanted to finish watching it before I did the review, but I purposely didn't watch the show until the figure came in because I wanted to be fresh with the anime show before I did the review. So I'm currently, I think I have like 2 or 3 episodes left to finish it. So I watched enough to kind of know what's going on in the show or in the anime. And they haven't fully shown this version of Godzilla completely yet, where I got to the point at where I'm at currently. But I knew I wanted to get this figure because from all my Godzilla figures, this to me is the Godzilla with the longest tail. As you can see, it's coming around the back right there in the top left hand corner. I can't wait to get this guy out because I want to see how this tail is accomplished. I've seen other reviews from my boy Diego Doom. His review was awesome, and he showed off the articulation on the actual tail. So I'm excited to get this in hand to kind of mess around with it. This is a unique perspective of a Godzilla figure. Nothing like this has been done before. So that's another reason why I'm intrigued for this. I gotta admit, the anime, it's so-so. It's a little bit kind of all over the place here and there, but it does have Jet Jaguar in it. Different, as you can see right there. Look at perfect timing. There's 2 versions of Jet Jaguar in the bottom left right there. It does come with the figure. They're not painted, but there is a Jet Jaguar figure coming out, so I'm definitely gonna get that also. So, as always, man, I'm excited for anything Godzilla. So let's get this big boy out the box and let's get that tail on display. As you can see, this is a big box and it's kind of hard to get the full thing in frame. So I'm gonna do my best to get a look at the box real quick before we get the figure out. So you got the S.H.MonsterArts logo up there with the Godzilla Ultima. You got the cool picture up front of Godzilla Ultima. You got the little smoke effect. You got the little math formulas in the back. If you get the character, the guy who pilots the Jet Jaguar, he's like a math whiz. And you get the legal information there. You get the cool picture with the long tail. Can't wait for that. And then in the back, we go ahead and get some poses of Godzilla. The mouth does articulate that wide. You get a cool picture of him there. And on the side, you get another picture of Godzilla. And then the other side, different, no picture, just a name. All right, guys, let's get this beast out the box. So once you get this beast outside of this big box, you greet it with a big clamshell underneath. And I'm actually surprised they actually shipped it or packaged it with the tail attached. As you can see here, let's take this top clamshell off real quick. I would think they were gonna ship it like with the tail separate, but no, everything came together, which I'm surprised. As you can see there, let's take a quick look. Let's bring down my brightness a little bit. There we go. All right, there. So as you can see there, we have Godzilla right there. Slide that out real quick. We have Godzilla right there with that long tail. Then we have the alternate head sculpt with the wide open mouth, get ready to do the atomic breath. And then we have the 2 versions of the Jet Jaguar, the earlier version and the more in-depth warrior version in the anime later in the season. And then 2 stands for him. All right, so let's go ahead and get this big boy out and the few accessories it does come with. Out the box, we can take a close look at everything that comes inside. We got Godzilla laid out, and that's the best possible way I got him laid out. He's kind of a big boy, so as always, let's take a look at the figure first. You gotta make sure you support the tail too. I mean, it could hold the tail, but I don't want to take chances of that coming off. So when you hold this, make sure you kind of support the tail too. Look at that thing, man. I can't wait to compare it with my Shin Godzilla. That's the next closest thing to the longest tail on the Godzilla figure. All right, so look at the detail. As you can see here, his dorsal fins are a little bit different in the anime. They have that grayish color with a little bit of like a reddish brown going through there. It's going all the way down the spine to the tail. Then as you can see, the red vein looking things on the dorsal fins stop at this point right here. And then you basically just have the gray going across the whole tail. Even at the bottom, I guess this thing is so long. I'm wrapping, look at this is how long it is. I'm wrapping him around this way. all the way up to the tip of the tail. You have the dorsal fins going there. So that's pretty nice. I like the paint on that. And then his legs on this one is a little bit different too. As you can see, he kind of has like a more scales on here, rippled. He has the little dorsal fins kind of going underneath his forearm, which this is different. No, I think no other Godzilla had that, like the little dorsal fins on the forearm portion, usually just on the back and the head and the tail. All right, so let's look at the front of him. As you can see, he also has a dorsal fin type pattern on his chest, going up his chest, up to the bottom of his neck, to the side of his neck. All right, so we can look over here. And let's take a look at this portion right here. As you can see here, go to the side, same amount of detail right there. All the way in the bottom of the legs. Now we're gonna take a quick look at the feet, as these are different too, because it has the little nail portion back here. That's different in Godzilla design. And he has some wide feet. You can see here. The thighs are extra wide. And he has a little bit more detail here in the abdomen, going all the way down his tail. As you can see all the way around. So this Godzilla does have a lot of detail going out through his body. All right, so let's look at let's try something real quick. Just want to see if I put this tail straight. As you can see, this is the articulation tail. So if you can see each individual joint has articulation. Go through each one, as you can see. Look at that, through the whole tail. We're still going, still going, still going, still going, still going. And just quick, look how long that tail is. Woo! There we go. I'm just gonna put them down so we can get some articulation started. So we'll go ahead and start the tail first. So let's get this big tail in the picture. There we go. So I did show some already, but as you can see, you could get the tail flat down. All these points do articulate, like I mentioned before. So you could have Godzilla with his long tail just laying on the ground, dragging it along. But it does have that much articulation where you can actually bend it all the way up. Look at that. So basically curl it. So basically you have endless articulation on the tail. You can do all kind of poses with the tail. That's awesome. And that's what I love about this tail. Like the fact that this tail is so long and it could actually hold the weight. Look at it. Nothing's flapping. Those are some strong joints there. And the fact that you got joints going across the whole tail. And none of them are loose to sound good, feel good. All right, so we go to the tail portion. This is where it's attached to the bottom. This is where the articulation of the tail stops right here. You see this plastic piece right here? So you can move that all around, as you can see underneath here too. So it does hide the joint a little bit there. All right, so we got the tail. Let's go with the legs. I'm trying to manage this big boy on the screen. So the legs can go all the way out. Ooh, he has some good Van Dams. He can do Van Dam split. So yeah, this guy's could actually do a split. Look at that. Wow. All right. This is going to be interesting. And they do go far in. So you can have a wide dynamic range for his thighs and his legs. You can actually have him, like, you know, laying under, like, you know, how dogs sometimes sleep like that. Look at that. You can sleep like a dog. All right. So you get that in there. Let's get that in. So you do your articulation. They do go up pretty far up. Look at it. So you can even have him doing like a bell, like doing a fart, like a skunk or something. Look at that, have the tail up, like he's about to blast something stinky. So that's nice with the legs. This actually has a lot of articulation so far. And it doesn't feel tight where, like, you know, some of my Godzilla figures, like when I try to articulate some of them, the joints just fall off. This one doesn't feel like that, at least not yet. All right, so let's go check out the legs. Let's go finish the legs. The knees, you do get a bend going forward with the knees. And they go pretty far back. You get articulation right here too at the shin. Right there, your articulation. All right, and then you get ankle twist. You get pivot. And let's see if we get up and down. Can't really go much up, but you could go down. Once again, this is Godzilla, so it's not gonna be dynamic. You're not gonna see Godzilla. I mean, he did do that one old school drop kick where he used the tail to drop kick somebody. That's probably the most dynamic you'll see Godzilla move. All right, so we went through the legs. Like I said, you gotta watch the tail. The tail's a little heavy. All right, so let's go to the arms. So he does have articulation to the shoulder here. They can twist. The shoulders don't feel as smooth as the legs, maybe because it's piece right here. I'm hitting his tail's hitting accessories. So he does have twist there. Can move it back, move it forward. Can come out, not much because of that piece right there, as you can see there. So he does have that. He does not have much bend in the elbow. Once again, this is Godzilla. He doesn't have much dynamic bending. You get twist at the wrist. You get articulation at the wrist too. You could twist a little bit at the forearm. That's nice. And then same thing with this arm. You can pulls it out more. This one's this arm feels a little bit stiffer than that one. And this is the part where I talk about some of the joints where I get nervous sometimes. But yep, that does pulls out more. You can get that up. Let's look at the head. So the neck does have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 points of articulation. You get there, and then you get there, and then you get the main neck. The lower portion right here, you get this right there, and then you get this right there. Then, let's see. He could look with this head. I gotta move the tail. With this head, he could look that far up and somewhat down. The mouth does open pretty good, decent on this one. Remember, this is the one that's not fully open. That's what we got the separate headpiece for. All right, let me try to bring them back around so you can take a better look at the face. So the mouth does open that much on this head. As you can see the detail in there, you can see the rows of teeth that he has. That's nice. You can see his eyes. All right, and then he does have waist. I guess that's a little hard with the tail. He does have waist articulation side to side. Not much twisting. And then the same thing with the neck. That could go side to side. You can twist it sideways a little bit, not too much. All right, and that's the articulation basically for Godzilla. So let's get him standing here real quick. All right, let's get that guy right there. Let's move this up a little bit more, hide that joint there better. And there we have Godzilla standing. All right, so look at his accessory. So he does get the secondary head sculpt. And this thing is beautiful, man. Look at those dorsal fins there. Look at the detail in the mouth. Look at that. Look at those 3, I don't know, tonsils. What do you want to call that? Look at the row of teeth there. This is beautiful. The articulation on there. I mean, not articulation, the detail and the paint. And it does have like a wet look to it. As you can see there, it does feel and look wet. Even right here too, at this portion of the mouth. And you do get that wide atomic breath coming at you stance. And then you would peg it in right there. So you basically detach the other head and plug it in right there. I'll give that an attempt on one of my final poses, because more than likely I'm going to have him pose like this with the mouth wide open like that, because I love the way that looks. That'll be cool next to my Shin Godzilla. And then he does come with the 2 versions of the Jet Jaguar, non-painted. I guess this is the first version right here when you first see him in the anime. And then they do come with the stands for each one right here. So basically you would just peg this in here. I'm sorry, on the camera. So you peg that right there, and there you go. You have the stand for that Jet Jaguar. And then you have the stand for the other Jet Jaguar right here. So you can see there. You have Jet Jaguar there. This is with the Godzilla piece on the spare. And you do get the peg right there for him also, for the stand. So you can have him standing right there just like that. All right. So now that we got Godzilla, well, his accessories out, and a good look at the figure, let's go ahead and get size comparison and then do final thoughts. There's Godzilla Ultimate staying in their default pose, ready for a size comparison. Now I'm gonna go ahead and bring in. I got one of the bigger Godzilla figures I have. I have Shin Godzilla, but I want to save him for the final pose. So this is gonna be the second biggest Godzilla that I currently have in my collection. And this is the other version of the different anime for Godzilla that came out before this anime. And this is the Earth Godzilla. He's a little more chunkier, but as you can see, the size comparison. He is a little bit bigger than Ultima. And then we're going to bring in a recent addition to my collection. This is the Mecha Godzilla, the newest version from the 2021 movie, Godzilla vs. Kong. And then last but not least, I'm going to bring in, let's see if we can squeeze him in here real quick. Let's move these guys over. And I'm going to bring in the original Godzilla, so you can get an idea of how big he is compared to these other guys right here. Let's move this over real quick. I'm sorry about this. Should have been more prepared, but here we go. And then this is going to be the original Godzilla. So there you get an idea of the size comparison of these three different Godzillas along with Mecha Godzilla. So he is a beast, like a hefty boy there, especially in the thigh area, you know what I'm saying? And you know how I like them thighs. So this Godzilla is definitely coming through with the thigh action. And he has the tail action too. So I'm loving this guy so far. Need to finish the anime. So I'm just happy to have him so far. So I like the way he fits in with all my other Godzillas. All right, so let's go ahead and get the final poses and final thoughts for this boy. Look at my Godzilla standing there with his tail, ready to slap somebody in the face with it. Giving him the pimp tail back slap. I love this figure, man. That tail is so awesome to mess with, so awesome to articulate, and the fact that it can actually hold the poses without it falling apart or any joints coming loose is freaking awesome with this figure. When I first saw the design for this Godzilla, I was like, what the heck are they doing now, man? Because when I first saw Shin Godzilla, that was a little bit of a overboard, creepy Godzilla in my opinion. But when I watched it, I actually enjoyed it. But when I saw the design for this guy, I'm like, come on, man. Like, what are they doing now? They're going to try to switch it up too much? But as I started seeing more and more pictures of it and started watching the anime, I started to like this version more as the days went on. Now, especially having the figure in hand, I'm loving this figure. Like, this, to me, compared to the Godzilla 89 I got recently that goes with Biolente, these two, to me, are the most articulated Godzilla figures out there so far, at least from what I have so far. The articulations are solid. They hold the pose fine. The only minor articulation I had was on that left arm right there. Like, for some reason, it didn't go as high as the other one. Like, the elbow doesn't bend out as much as the other one. Maybe I had to, like, warm up the joints to loosen it up a little bit. But that's like a minor issue compared to some of the issues I had previously with other figures in the S.H.MonsterArts line. And what can I say? Look at that tail, man. Look at that curve. Look at the length. Look at that girth. Look at look at all that, man. I'm loving this guy, man. It's like, yeah, I got him a little later than I was supposed to get him, but he was well worth the wait so far. So I want to see how he would look compared to my next big boy, and that's going to be Shin Godzilla. So I'm going to have Shin Godzilla there in the next final pose, which is going to come up right about now. We have Godzilla Ultima next to Shin Godzilla, the next biggest Godzilla figure I have, and the Godzilla with the longest tail, or at least previously before this Godzilla arrived. As you can tell, the big difference between the tails. Shin Godzilla's tail is longer, but you can see it's not as curved. I mean, it's more curved up. And Godzilla Ultima is more long and then curved. So you can see the big difference in the tail length between the two figures and the two different versions of Godzilla. And these two Godzillas are the ones that open their mouth the widest to project that atomic blast. So it's a good, in the way I see, it's a good mixture between the two, like a Shin Godzilla mixed with a different type of Godzilla. The scales, you know, like I said, the dorsal fins are different. So like it's just, these are the two with the longest tails. And these are two of my favorite Godzilla figures I have so far. And I just wanted to see which one so far would be the king of the tails. And as you can see there, Godzilla Ultima is the king right now with the longest tail, the most articulated tail, and the coolest looking tail. So I'm loving this figure. I'm happy I finally got him. Of course, you know me being a Godzilla fan, I can't pass up on any Godzilla, especially S.H. Figure Art Monster lines. Now, I know they're releasing the Rodon from that anime and then also the Jet Jaguar, which both I have pre-ordered. So I'm excited to have those two go with my Godzilla Ultima for this same anime. I'm hoping they give us some more, and I'm hoping that in the future, I know they're gonna create a even crazier looking Godzilla. As long as the figure comes out articulating well and is not a mess, like the previous Godzilla versus Kong figures, then I'll be happy with that. As long as they keep improving with the articulation. So far with the two Godzillas they released recently, the articulation's been a bump up from the previous one, so I'm happy with that also. And I'm having less and less problems with the SH Monster Art line now compared to previous ones. And I'm loving this guy. I can't wait to keep messing around with this guy. I think he might be on my desk for a while, just along with my Spider-Man, my Hot Toys, Miles Morales. Those two figures I love messing around with. Well, I'm going to start messing around with this guy. I'm going to love messing around with this guy, see what else I can get away with. I want to see if I can get the neck pose a little bit more. Like I said, I was a little nervous with during the review to kind of articulate the neck a little bit more, kind of like turn it up more. But with that, to swap the headpiece, it was very simple. The only thing you have to be careful is when you take the head off, there's gonna be like a neck sleeve, that third joint. It's loose in there, so it'll come right off. You just gotta make sure you put it back on the way it was, or else the head won't snap on in place and be flushed. But it was easy to do, no problems at all. I'm happy they gave us that option because I love that wide open mouth. I love that articulation, I love just the details. No articulation, it's just sculpted that way. So I love the detail in that. So as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review just as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I hope you enjoy my Godzilla collection because I'm a big Godzilla fan. I hope you keep collecting. Stay safe. Be good. Click that bell notification. Click the like and subscribe button. It really does help the channel out. Stay safe. Dale.